So we have 5-color Domain Zoo today. This deck is looking to aggro out our opponent with Lightning Bolts, Tribal Flames, and just a huge suite of creatures, hoping to get 5 colors of mana so we can cast Sign of Draco on turn 2 and just kind of attack our opponents to death. So Domain was a pretty fringe deck until Brothers War came out and gave us Leyline Binding. So our Domain payoffs here are Tribal Flames, which we can deal X damage to any target, Leyline Binding, and we have Sign of Draco, and we have Nishoba Brawler. So all of these focus on Domain. The more colors of lands we have, the better they get. In the early game, this deck is looking to turn 1 Wild Nacatl or Ragavan, hoping to curve out into Nishoba Brawler, Kavu, and then kind of control the board here with Lightning Bolt, Tribal Flames, some Remand and Stubborn Denial, and then we have Leyline Binding to take care of any kind of permanent, non-land permanent. The deck can get a little awkward too because sometimes you'll want to get a shock land here for one of these two, but other times, depending on what your hand is, you might want to get a Triome, set up for a turn 2 5/5 Kavu, or 5/3 Nishoba Brawler. If you do manage to get all 5 colors of land, you can play Sign of Draco on turn 2. You can have Leyline Binding up for 1 mana. All of these things are possible on turn 1 and turn 2, so it just depends on what your hand looks like. This deck requires you to sequence pretty well, figuring out what creature you want to play depending on what deck you're playing against. In the sideboard, we have a little bit of everything here. We have Flusterstorms for Cascade, Control, we have Veil of Summer for Scam, Wear Tear for Artifact Enchantments, Hitotsugu. Hammer's been pretty popular and this kind of blows that deck out. We have Teferi Time Raveler for control matchups and Cascade. Dramoka's Command, good value, good against creature decks. Rest in peace for those graveyard decks. And we are a companion deck, so we are running Jegantha because it's free. So that's this version of Domain Zoo. I want to remind you guys that I do deck donations. I'll leave that information in the description below. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get into the gameplay. All right, match 1, we're on the play. I think we can keep this hand. We can lead off with a Nacatl and then have a lot of burn and hopefully that gets there. Especially in the dark, we don't really know what the best hand to keep would be. But this is just kind of like a fine general hand, I think. Opponent mulligan to 6. This Windswept Heath is going to get a Temple Garden, and we can play our 3/3. Looking like Scam? Thoughtseize, okay. Our hand's pretty Thoughtseize proof. They take the Tribal Flames, it makes sense. They pass. This will go get a Triome here. We'll just get a Savai, make this a 3/3. I don't think there's any point in just shocking this in and holding up 1 Lightning Bolt. They are going to evoke the Fury. I guess that's one reason to keep open red mana here because then they're going to Undying it. Oh wow, they didn't. They just wanted to get it off. Okay, that's fair. We got to draw some action here though. Draw some creatures. Stubborn Denial. So we can put Jegantha to hand. I guess that's like the best thing instead of holding up Bolt and Stub. If we just hold this open, I think we're being too safe maybe. Especially because they just Fury to terminate away. All right, they have Seasoned. What do they pitch? Feign Death and Grief. I guess they just didn't have the black mana for that. Ragavan, pretty dead card here. Kind of getting stuck. I guess we'll just play out the Ragavan. This will probably get the other Triome, and then hopefully we can either draw a land for Jegantha or actually draw some threats. See if they get in with any, probably just like the tokens or something. I'm fine with trading. They need 2 more mana to unlock these, and I just kind of want to clear the board. Dolphy and Ragavan. Ugh. All right, I guess we're just going to have to spend this on clearing their board. Get a Zagath Triome. Another Stub. We're just going to do this now for no Undying effects and just pass. It's kind of awkward. They attack with 1, keep the other one back for Ragavan. Another Dolphy, and they pass. Yeah, we just have like nothing going on here. All right, well, here's a Plains. We can play out Jegantha. They have 1 card in hand. It could be like a Terminate or something, which would probably be the worst case scenario. There we go. So if we would have been able to hit our land drops, we could have kept a mana open for Stub. They get in for 5. Our hand just like didn't line up this game. These are pretty dead cards in the matchup also. It only hits the like Feign Deaths and stuff. I guess Terminate also, but most of their stuff is creatures. So they sack Dolphy to get a Jegantha. Okay. I mean, we draw a Scion here, but now they have a 5/5. Kind of awkward. We're just dead to our own Jegantha. They're going to draw with Castle? Wait, did they just have a Fury? Yeah. We'll take 1 draw stat, but I can't see us winning this. We just have these dead cards. Good top deck by them. 5, 6, 7. We have to draw the Binding. Ugh, they make me play it out. We'll live at 1. Unless they have like Dash Ragavan or something or a Bolt. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, against Scam. We want the Rest in Peace. We want the Veil of Summer. We'll take out Tribal Flames, a Remand, a Brawler. Bringing it to Teferi. So we'll bring in the Veils for all the hand disruption. Rest in Peace shuts down their Scam part, and Teferi is just good value. We're not going to be casting our sorcery speed much often, and Remain's not the greatest here. All right, yes, we want to be on the play. Reveal Jegantha. And our hand is fantastic, aside from 1 land. That's exactly what we want to. We have sideboard cards, aggro, all this stuff. But all right, unfortunate going down to 5 against Scam. We'll keep this. I guess we'll put back a Remand and put back Scion. I want to keep these 5/5s against potential like Furies. So hopefully we dodge the Grief Scam here. It's unfortunate we had to go to 5 because those were 2 great hands minus not having lands. All right, it looks like we were able to dodge the Grief. So I'll get the Savai here. So that way we have all 5 colors of mana with Breeding Pool. Get to play out Kavu. 2 mana 5/5. Opponent gets a Swamp. Again, this deck has Fatal Push. This deck has Terminate. Kind of have to play into it though. We're not really doing much otherwise. They shock on a Blood Crypt. Play a Dolthy. All right, we do have Stub open, but we can't keep it open because we just have to keep playing threats here. We can keep Leyline Binding open. Opponent plays Castle. I'm just going to get in. Get in for 3. We do win this race. Let's see if they want to play something else. And to Terminate. Yeah, that's unfortunate here. All right, we're just going to Binding this now just to use our mana. Not looking good though. All right, we draw a Brawler. It sucks that we can't hold up this Stubborn Denial because we only have 1 blue source. Because this is a hard counter to any removal now. They've used 2, but this deck usually runs like 3 Terminates or whatever and a few Fatal Push. They can also evoke Fury here or play Magus. That's a good one too. We do have Bolts and Tribal Flames. Attack. Not going to win this race right now. Yeah, I feel like their deck is really good against our deck. We're 5 color creatures there. Red, black, Blood Moon removal. Doesn't really line up very well for us. And they cast Grief, which would be great if we had green mana open. They Grief, Feign Death, take our hand. We'll take like a draw step, but I don't think we're beating this now. They attack with Moon. And we draw... What do we draw? That's a tough matchup for sure. And the Model 5 definitely didn't help. Okay, we're on the draw this time. And this is a pretty good hand. We have our fetch lands. We have early disruption, removal, counter spells. Cannot complain about this hand. We'll see how it goes though. And we draw Draco, which is pretty sweet. So we'll hold up this. If we need to use Stub on like a 2 mana Ren or something like that, we can do that. Can end of turn Bolt something. Looking to get a Triumph here with this. Proving Ground. This is probably going to be a Ren. This is Creativity. Let's see what they do. Thoughtseize. Okay. Typically Creativity. This could still be... I don't think it main decks Thoughtseize though, so maybe not. Not sure what they take here. Depends on what they want to live. They take the Kavu. So notably, we could have Stubborn Denialed that. Think it's worth it? I'm not sure. You guys can let me know. If we stub that, they don't take the Kavu. We probably just play Scion. Get the Zagoth Triumph here. Doesn't really matter what Triumph we get. Oh, wait. Also, I meant to get that at the end step. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to matter, I guess, but nah, we get Footed Foothills. They kept the mana open. I mean, we could sit on Stub. I don't think that's right. I'm probably just going to play out Scion. Get our Sacred Foundry for all 5 colors. But yeah, they know our hand, so they took Kavu over Scion. Well, I guess we'll see why shortly. Ketria and... Okay. They got all their colors of mana here. They Thoughtseize again. What if they're going to take our Brawler this time? Took Stub. They must have like a Bolt or something. We'll attack first and then just play Brawler. Could also put Gigantha to hand, but I kind of want to hold up like Leyline Binding and stuff. So we'll play Brawler. This can go get white or red for whatever we want to do. Yes. They can always end of turn Bolt this also. Okay, so it is Creativity. So we need to hold up a lot of interaction here for... I guess they're screwed on lands here because they played this tapped. So they have a lot of awkward mana, it looks like. Get our Savai here. Another land. We'll attack here. They go to 6. I don't want to put Gigantha to hand. They're dead next turn if they do nothing. They have to beat Leyline Binding and Lightning Bolt. They know we have Binding. No, they know we have one of these. I think it's Bolt. And they just concede. So we can assume that their land just didn't work out for them. But we are against Creativity, so we can bring in Flusterstorm. We can bring in Veil of Summer. We'll take out Tribal Flames because it's like a sorcery speed. It's pretty slow. I'm tempted to bring in Rest in Peace. I'm not sure. We didn't really get to see what they were on, but we saw Thoughtseize, so we can assume they're Grixis. So like Persist. I'm actually going to bring in 2 Rest in Peace too, just to see. It might be too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take out Dramoka's Command. Probably a Brawler too. It just dies to everything. 2 mana. The 3 toughness isn't good again. Doesn't line up well against bolts. All right, we have another no-lander, so we're gonna mull. You serious, guys? Another no-lander, so we're gonna mull. This is like a land-heavy deck too, which is super annoying that this keeps happening. This is a great 7, but now we have to put a bunch back, especially mulliganing against a Thoughtseize deck. It feels awful. We'll put back Brawler. I guess Nakatl. You could say that's like an early threat, but I'm just gonna use this time to get my lands down. Like we could go turn 1 Nakatl just as like a... Alright, Stub's not bad. I'll play this. If they play Ren, I don't even know if they're playing Ren. We didn't see... They're just playing Grixis. Well, no, they are playing all 5 colors. So if we can stub a Ren, that'd be fantastic. It looks like that's what they're gonna do. So this will get a Breeding Pool. Pretty ballsy of them to play into that. Typically, you don't want to jam that into like an open mana like that. Unless they have another one, or they just have nothing else going on. Kavu, that's a great draw. We'll play Sacred Foundry, get our 4/4 on. Doesn't die to Bolt, notably. And it eats their graveyard. They play Scalding Tarn. Do they have another run? They Shock into Steam Vents. 3 mana. Fable. Okay. Makes sense. I'm gonna bolt this. Just bolt that now. Probably gonna loot this away, to be honest. We'll discard Foothills. Okay, cool. Draw another land. Unfortunately, this cannot get a black source, an untapped black source. But we'll just get a tap Zagoth and pass. If we had Foothills, I guess if we would have thought harder, we should have played the Foothills to get the Overgrown Tomb. Wasn't thinking about that. So they do get the loot here. So they could loot and then persist, and then we're just dead. They looted away a Dwarven Mine. So they have a bunch of lands in hand. They could just have creativity and then we just lose here anyway. But they might respect the breeding pool. I don't know. Probably not. The only way we have of dealing with Archon is Leyline Binding. All right, so we're punished for tapping poorly. We don't get to play our Scion. They also don't do anything. Nakadal. We're going to attack, I guess, discard the land again for Remand. That's pretty good, actually. That's actually like huge. Because if they go for a large creativity, we just Remand it and they lose. What is this? Hopefully just a Triumph. Oh, okay. They're just going to block with that? Okay. Oh, they didn't. I'm playing Nakadal. So they're dead next turn if they can't deal with this Remand here. They might just go all out and just hope I don't have anything. I guess they're not dead because they can chump block both. So maybe not. It'll buy me a turn at least. I guess they just have nothing. They have 4 cards in hand. I don't know what they're sitting on. If it's not removal, it's not creativity. All right, land untapped. So if we draw anything, if we draw some burn, they're just gonna like transmog or just creativity for 1. So we have 2 looks at a burn spell or removal or whatever. Stubborn Denial. These are both pretty sweet, actually. Do we want to discard Veil if we're just going to be... Nah. We'll just exile land. They have the chump. So, like, maybe discarding something to try and find a burn spells is the correct play because they have to chump with both of these. But they could also go fetch land. Well, no, they can't even... They have to top deck, like, exactly Dwarven Mine into something, I guess. I think just keeping both of these is the safest. There's no reason to get rid of any of these to, like, speed up the win. And they concede it. What would we would have... Yeah, Kavu. Okay. All right, match 3. We're on the play. This hand has 2 lands, so we're gonna keep. It has a lot of burn. It's like pretty solid, pretty good overall. Some early disruption, burn, removal, aggro. So we're gonna lead off with a breeding pool here. I also realized too that when I was talking about having the Sacred Foundry in hand, that we can't cast Nakadal with Sacred Foundry. So that's just stupid too to talk about that from before. But we need to get this so we have all 4 colors of mana here. Are we against Scam again? I mean, I know we're going to be playing that deck a lot. It just sucks that our deck isn't the greatest against it. So what do they take here? Like Leyline Binding and a Bolt? I guess they just take double Bolt. Binding Grief, get him for 3. I'd like to draw a land so we could play Kavu and hold up Dorothy. What's this? Ragavan. They hit the land we wanted, Remand. And then we will play Kavu and pass. So yeah, land would have been nice there. 3 mana, Spyro. What do they get rid of? They pitch Ragavan, Dorothy. Okay. Not the land we wanted. Still gonna attack here. I'm gonna discard Stub. That's a good one, actually. Let's, well, binding that. Play this tapped and pass. So we binding Spyro so that way Kavu would live. They could have like a Terminate. Yeah. They play this tapped and pass. So I guess hopefully Nakadal can get there with Remand backup. We draw another Stub. Let's see how far this little 3/3 can go. They have 4 mana, so this is kind of awkward. Okay. So we will just Remand that. Buy some time. Maybe we can draw like a burn spell. Just how we wrote it up. So we hit him down to 2. Punch him in the face. All right, so we're against Scam again. So we're going to be bringing in our Rest in Pieces and Veil of Summers. We'll take out a Remand, a Flames, some Brawlers. All right, so this is a 4 land hand, but because we're against Scam, they mulligan to 6. We're definitely going to keep this. We can get our colors, even if they, I guess, grief us here, they'll take these 2 most likely. They mulligan to 5, pretty good for us. But still, even if they scam us, a mulligan to 5 just kind of helps them out. They mulligan pretty well. They shock that in. Thoughtseize. Okay. Definitely going to take the Nakadal here. Draw a Bolt. Play Flooded Strand. If they play like Dash Ragavan or something, we can... Oh, do they keep a 1-lander? Yes, they did. Get a Zagoth here. We have the Steam Vents and a Kavu. So we'll shock in the Steam Vents here, and we'll play the Kavu out. So if they draw a land, they could have Terminate in hand. They evoke Fury. Do they have the... Okay. So that's fine, because we get to just Tribal Flames that. What'd they pitch? They pitched Terminate. Why'd they do that? That's weird, right? That they did that? Play Windswept Heath and pass. So this can go get a blue source, red source, or a Triumph. I guess they just wanted a threat. Kitsavai. We don't have much going on either, I guess, but... So we keep a... I think we have to keep a, What do we keep open? Veil for Thoughtseize, Stub. I want to keep red and green open, but we can't. So probably green and blue. So I want to keep like Bolt up for, well, they would have played Ragavan, I think. So we'll keep up Stub and Veil, I think. Because if they go Thoughtseize, we can Veil, draw a card. The only way we're punished is if they like dash Ragavan. All right, so they evoke Grief. We're going to Veil, and they just concede. That's fair. Yeah, they're not, I don't think they're doing much with just one land. So we lost the Scam, and then we beat Scam. Cool. Okay, match 4, we're on the draw this time, and this hand is pretty solid. We have Ragavan, Bolt, Kavu. We will keep this. Especially this league. If we draw our lands, we're just going to keep, so we don't have to mulligan all that time. Carplusian Forest into Noble Hierarch. Okay, cool. So we're going to bolt this. I'm not sure what this is. Usually when I see this, it's like, I forget what this is. But maybe, I think they mulligan to 6. So we're definitely going to, we got a Steam Vents here. Definitely going to hopefully punish a small, or like a no land hand. Usually when you mulligan like that, you rely on that mana dork to get you there. All right, so they are stuck on 1 mana. That's cool. It's good to know. Tribal Flames. We'll play Temple Garden now, and we'll just play out the Kavu, so they can't make treasures. And this is a 4-drop, so they can't bolt it. All right, so they don't make their land drop. They just pass. That's great for us. All right, so we're going to dash Ragavan here. Let's see if they have a bolt, or if they want to actually trade. So we'll attack. We're going to discard the plains and draw another Ragavan. Not really what we wanted. Are they just going to take it because they want to hopefully hit something back? Boseiju, okay. So I'll play Flooded Strand. I think we're going to use this treasure and just cast Ragavan here and then just pass. So if they want to attack, these will trade. We're doing this so that they can't make any tokens, and if they want to kill Ragavan, they have to spend 1 mana. So we don't mind trading here. You wouldn't necessarily do this if the opponent wasn't stuck on lands like this. Do they have another Ragavan? Okay. They have the same idea as us. So we're going to Savai here. Make our Kavu a 5/5. We do have Stub. We'll attack. What do we want to get rid of? Probably the Sacred Foundry. I kind of want like all these. Okay, cool. We drew a land. Do they just take it? Play a land. I guess we'll pass. We can Tribal Flames them next turn. We can just Leyline Binding this. Okay, they just never drew a land. That's a weird game. So we don't know what they're on. They're on Carplusian, Ragavan. So I feel like because they have like a low CMC, maybe I want like a Dramoka's Command over Remand. And I guess we'll just kind of run it back. We don't really know what the opponent's on. All right, we're going to keep this hand. We need some lands. We have enough, but our hand is just like super aggro here. Opponent mulligan to 5 this time. They're not having a great time. They're kind of like us. We don't have removal. Okay, good. They don't have any turn 1 plays. I was going to say, we don't have any removal for their turn. Oh, now we do. So we're going to play the Wooded Foothills, and they play Monkey. We could bolt this or get a Triumph. I think we're going to get a Triumph here. It's tempting. I mean, they just drew the Monkey this turn. We'll get the Savai, so that way our Kavu's a 4/4, so it doesn't out a bolt. Oh, okay, well, we drew the fetch land. So this will go get a breeding pool. We could play whatever out. We could play Scion, Kavu. This is just like a 5/5 wall for this Ragavan that doesn't out a bolt. I'm not sure how this deck beats just these big creatures like this. Okay, so they're going to deal 4 to it, and then attack in. Bolt. Okay, so they just 3-for-1 themselves? They pitched a dead Ragavan. They got a Stub they can't use. Cool. So I guess we'll just play out Scion and just hold a Bolt. Damn, man. That's crazy. They 3-for-1 themselves there. Another Fury for Lightning Bolt. So they just had all removal. Double Fury, pitching Lightning Bolt and Ragavan. Okay. Well, we'll just bolt this. Okay. And they concede. Yeah, like next turn we go like Kavu, hold up Leyline Binding, depending on if we draw lands, let's say. All right, we draw a land too. So we can either Kavu into Brawler, or just like one of these, hold up Leyline Binding, try, but we just had a lot. 0-2, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Some weird games. All right, final match. And we are against another Gigantha deck. We're going to keep this hand. We have Ragavan into Kavu with some disruption here. They lead on Overgrown Tomb. They shock that in. Is it going to be a Thoughtseize or a Mana Dork? Or the Mirror? The one time we play this deck, we play against the Mirror. What are the odds? So we could lead on Ragavan, or we can also lead on Nakatl. I think we lead on Ragavan here. That is weird that we're playing the Mirror. Like, I never play against this deck. I feel like they need a new Nakatl art. I don't really like these arts. All right, they played the Savai. Are they going to get in? Okay, they are. All right, we're definitely not going to block. We want our treasure. We want our monkey. I don't think they have anything for... Oh, they have another Nakatl. Okay. 2 Nakatls. Leyline Binding. So let's see. We can probably just bind one of these Nakatls and get in with the monkey. Play our in Nakatl. So we get a breeding pool. Leyline Binding that Nakatl. Attack. Stub. Sure. Play our own Nakatl. Do they have... Okay, they have their own Kavu. See if they want to trade these. I don't think I'm going to trade because I want to Draco's Command kill that. Let's see what we want to do here. Draw Foothills. So we can't fight these without this dying. Kind of awkward here. Yeah, I think we should have traded actually, now that I think about it. Got a Savai, Fire on Kavu, and pass. Yeah, I think we should have traded here. For some reason I thought like we could fight this, but so they're gonna have all this, they're gonna make this a 5/5 now too. So we're probably just gonna like trade our board unless they have a ley line. Gonna shock that in. They're gonna attack just to get the trigger. So I don't know if I'm probably just gonna trade here because if I try to trade here, they discarded Kavu. And I mean, they could have, I don't know, they could have a lot of things. If we try to double block and they just like Leyline Binding one, we get blown out. They fight Brawler and another Nakatl. Wow. All right, we draw Binding. So I guess we just play out our own Scion here and just like hold up Binding. It's kind of like a weird matchup. They only have one card in hand though. They can attack with Brawler. It would trade here though. Wait, 2 trample damage. As long as they don't Travel's Flames us, okay. Alright, we're just gonna Binding end of turn just to use our mana. And then we're just like dead to any Bolt or Tribal Flames. So let's attack with these. We're gonna attack with these two. And then we can Draco's Command. Let's see what they do here, because we can Draco's Command. I wonder if they like double block here. So we're gonna put a +1/+1 like this. So this will get a +1/+1. Choose target creature you control, and that'll fight that. So I guess maybe we could have attacked with everything. Played it a little too safe. But this is like a sweet clear the board. But I guess if they have like a Dash Ragavan, this blocks that. So maybe that's a nice conservative-ish play. They only have one card in hand. We just have like a fade. If we fade a burn spell, we win. No, oh, come on. Unlucky. The Mirror. So I guess for the Mirror, we'll bring in another Draco's Command. There's really not much. We're aggro. Like, we don't need to fairy. This doesn't do much. I guess we bring out like a Stub? Remand doesn't seem that great. We'll just try that. I think we just have to be the more aggro deck. They were on the play. So like if they weren't on the play that game, we would have won. Because we were going to win next turn. Pretty sure that's how that works. Unless we made some mistakes. Alright, we'll keep this. We have 2 Scions, some disruption here. And play Savai, tapped, and pass. So I feel like it's whoever gets the most creatures out, especially nothing beats like turn 2 Scion. Like they can't beat turn 2 Scion. They're going to play like Nakatl. So we draw Triome. We just play out our Scion just to like wall this out. I mean, they can play Leyline Binding, I guess. That's one way to get around it. Ragavan, nothing. So we can play a second Scion. We can play a Kavu with Stub up. I think I like playing Kavu, honestly. It's a bigger body, and once we start attacking with it, we can like loot. I'm gonna get in here because if they want to, we have Stub up, so they can't Leyline Binding, and they can't Tribal Flames. Lightning Bolt, sure. Oh, okay. I think they clearly messed up there, and they just like shame conceded. I don't know what that was. All right, we're just gonna run it back. That's funny. All right, so we want a hand like that again. That was a pretty good hand. One land. I want to be so greedy with this. Like, our hand is disgusting against in the Mirror, but I don't want to keep a 1-lander. We'll keep this. Put back a Remand. I want to keep the 3 lands just because if we get stuck, it's like not fun. All right, they're gonna play another Nakatl here. As long as they don't go like Nakatl into Ragavan. We do draw a land, so now I kind of regret it, but all right, looks like they're gonna go Dash Ragavan, or they're just making this a 3/3. Okay, good. Okay, well, apparently my end step didn't work, so that sucks actually. Now we can't play Scion out. Oh man, that's just gonna like lose us the game actually, because we have to shock and all this stuff. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we're just gonna get punished here. Play out the Brawler, 4 damage for no reason, or 6 damage for no reason. Yeah, we're screwed. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't stop there. I thought I had the set there. So we're down to 6. Tribal Flames, Ragavan. Nah, that sucks. All right, so that was a quick league with Domain Zoo. I thought the league was a little weird with how one-sided the games kind of were. We went 0-2, then went 2-0 into 1-2 with both me and the opponent kind of punting in the end. But I don't think we were getting there because they just had a huge creature board and we couldn't kind of deal with that. But overall, I think the deck is pretty fun. It's looking to just kind of aggro out and kind of tempo out with some removal here. And it kind of did its thing. I don't know like how powerful this is in the current meta. You guys saw against Scam. If Scam gets to do its thing, even just a little bit, you just kind of feel bad. But overall, not much to say about it. The control suite was pretty interesting, holding up Stub and Remands, and then the control with Leyline Binding, removal with Tribal Flames and Lightning Bolt, it all kind of like synced together for what this deck's trying to do. In the future, we'll probably play a different version of this. There's a more controlling version we might try that has more blue spells, or we might just try the Cascade version or just the general version, which I think is pretty sweet. So look out for that video in the future. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.